Hello YouTube, it's your host Axel Rose, the Shogun with the slogan, and you are now watching MVP Magazine. Now, if you are a long-time fighting fan, you will definitely remember the Street Fighter EX series, and it seems like it could be making a resurgence, and the hype level is...
It's over 9,000! What, 9,000?!
Now, if you remember the Street Fighter EX franchise from back in the day, you will remember that not only did it bring new characters and new stages and new scenarios to Street Fighter, but it also brought a whole load of new gameplay mechanics like chaining supers together, guard breaks, a whole load of stuff. It was even the first Street Fighter game with a trial mode and stuff. So it's one of the games that was really loved by Street Fighter fans, and to be honest, people have wanted a return from the characters like Alan Snyder, Blair Dane, Crackerjack and Skullomania for a long time. So me personally, I'm really happy to see that this game could be making a resurgence. So as you can imagine, when a new trailer for this game leaked on April the 1st, the fighting game community went nuts. Now, initially people thought it was some kind of April Fool's joke because people have been asking for these characters for a long time. Like, one of the highest requested characters for Street Fighter V has always been Skullomania, and because of Capcom and Arika's dubious relationship, things like that have never been able to happen. Basically, the long story cut short is, Arika was one of the original artists and designers that worked on Street Fighter 2, so he's always retained some kind of rights to the characters, and in the 90s, him and Capcom struck a deal where he could make 3D Street Fighter games and Capcom could keep making the flagship series in 2D. But when Street Fighter 4 came out, Capcom chose to go behind his back and make the game without him. Now technically Street Fighter 4 is actually still a 2D game because the game takes place on a 2D plane, but the graphics are all 3D. So since then, him and Capcom has had a very dubious relationship, and that's why we don't get his characters in the newer Capcom games. But now it seems that we can have his characters back in their own game. Now this game isn't necessarily a sequel to the Street Fighter EX franchise, it's more actually a sequel to Arika's franchise that came out in Japan, Fighting Leia, but it still features the characters that we love. Skullomania, Alan Snyder, Kyari, Blair Dane, Crackerjack, all of those good stuff. Now I'm really hoping that this game comes to fruition, and right now it hasn't even got a date or a publisher, but it's going to be playable in Japan at certain dates and certain places and stuff like that. So here's hoping someone like Nintendo or Sony jump on this and stuff. Like, Sony have been really good with securing titles that haven't had any publishers, like S.H.I.N.O and stuff like that. I think they did really good with getting that locked up and tied up onto the PlayStation. So, but then again, Nintendo were really good with securing Bayonetta. So if they really are serious about making the Switch a success, securing this game as an exclusive would be a big deal. Whichever console manufacturer does that, they're definitely going to have eyes in a FGC, the fighting game community, and just nostalgic gamers in general looking at them, because Street Fighter EX may not have been a technically sound fighting game, like balance wise, but it was just fun as hell and it was really popular. So if you weren't there for the Street Fighter EX craze, I really feel sorry for you. There's certain fake PlayStation gamers out there that are going to pretend that they were there, but we won't mention them because nobody watches their channels anyway. But anyway, let me know what you think about Street Fighter EX coming back. I am really hyped and stuff like that. If Nintendo are smart, they will really try and lock this up for an exclusive on the Switch. But to be honest, the PlayStation platform is where the money is, but we'll see what happens. I just hope that this game gets some legs and stuff like that, and if it does need to be crowdfunded and stuff like that, this would be the first game that I'm actually willing to put money into. But yeah, let me know what you think about this. Really happy for this game to be back. Street Fighter EX 4. Woo! Peace.